Adding more printers to the printing farm. It never gets old. Today I'm going to give you a glimpse of the Creality CR-10S Pro, go over the setup, the features, and why you should consider adding this to your arsenal before it's too late. So in today's video, it's coming up next. What's up, everyone? Back at it again. It is DW Darkwing Dad. Today I'm giving you a quick video through the archives. And I had the whole setup video of the Creality CR-10S Pro printer, so I figured I would do a quick breakdown of the setup and some of the highlights of this printer. Really great printer. It has been proven to definitely give a great bang for its buck as far as setup time, quality, and just ease of use. Really awesome printer. So without any further ado, we're going to get into the whole setup of the machine, go over some of the specs, the features, some tips and tricks, and then give you my recap on this awesome printer. So let's get this thing set up and let's go. All right, so setting up the printer, we want to go ahead and get everything unboxed, take all of the packaging and the insulation off. You're going to want to grab a little brown box that's going to have all of your hardwares, your tools, everything you're going to need to get this printer set up. With the CR-10S Pro, what we want to do is line the X gantry up on the side, and if you look below, there's two little small openings. That's where the screws are going to go through. They're going to guide those right up into the X gantry. So go ahead and grab the supplied hardware and the Allen wrench. Go ahead and screw those in. Make sure those are nice and tight and secured. Once you've tightened both sides and see that they are snug and secure, just go ahead and double check and make sure that the X gantry doesn't have any wiggle or movement. Next, you can grab this ribbon cable here that's coming out from the side of the base of the printer and plug it into the side of the gantry. It clips right in place. Make sure that's secure, and then you can go ahead and plug these two harnesses here that plug into the Z stepper motors. They are labeled with a little Z tab. Go ahead and plug those in. There's some tape that are covering those, but just peel it off, plug those in, make sure those are nice and snug. Now, a little tip: the wires do stick out a little bit, so you're going to have to go ahead and kind of finagle them down in the little openings that they came out of. If you have the wire sticking out too far, it'll actually hit the bed when it moves forward and back. And while you're doing that, you can also check to make sure your hot end is moving left to right with no friction or no restriction. Make sure nothing's too loose, and of course it is. You can go ahead and tighten it as need be. Next, you can grab your power cord and plug it into the back of the printer and go ahead and turn the printer on. You will see that the color LCD display will light up. It will load and play this lovely tune for you when the printer starts. Here you can see your main menu. It has all of your little options here that you're going to use throughout your 3D printing adventures. The first thing we want to do is go ahead and start preheating both the bed and the hot end just to make sure they are functioning properly. Next, we're going to go to setup and go to move, and what we're going to do here is just make sure everything is plugged in and hooked up right. So go ahead and hit the home button. It is going to go ahead and auto home to the center of the bed. Next, let's just go ahead and hit the X, Y, and Z buttons. Those are going to move the hot end left to right on the X, the bed forward to back on the Y, and obviously the whole carriage up and down when we hit Z arrow up and Z arrow down. Then you can go ahead and hit the home button again, and what we're going to do is set the Z offset here real quick. What this is going to do is kind of prepare us for leveling the bed of the printer. So go ahead and grab a piece of paper, and again, it's going to auto home this right into the center of the bed. We're going to put a piece of paper in there and just get it to where the paper has just a little bit of drag, a little bit of bite on the nozzle of the printer. Once we have it set to the proper height by hitting Z up and Z down, whether we have to move it up or down, go ahead and tap the home button, and that is going to save that specific spot where we set the Z offset. And of course, you can double check your work just to make sure that the Z did save it. And I can see here by putting the paper under it, it has the same amount of bite and grip to it. It did save that offset that we just put in. Next, we're going to go to aux leveling and manually level the bed. So when you hit aux leveling, it's going to bring up 5 blocks on the screen here, and what we're going to do is tap each one of these individually, put that same piece of paper underneath the nozzle, and turn the knobs on the bottom of the bed left or right to either drop the plate or raise the plate and get it to where we're getting that little bit of bite, that little bit of drag on the paper. So you've probably all done this before. It's the same census of leveling your bed here. So here I'm doing all 5 points on the bed, going through, getting a little bit of drag, a little bit of bite on the paper, setting it to the proper level. Once you've checked all 5 access points, just a little tip, I like to go through and check them all again. Again, just double checking your work. Sometimes when you adjust one, it could throw off the other one just a little bit. I like to go through, do it twice just to make sure everything is good. Once you have your bed nice and level, you can go ahead and click measurements, and what this will do is go ahead and probe the bed and give you the exact measurements. Again, just reassuring and reiterating that your bed is properly level and ready for printing.
Next, you can put on the filament mount. Put it on the side. Some people put it on the top. Personally, I'm going to be using my filament dehydrator, so I'm not going to actually be using this filament mount. Depending on your spot, you can go ahead and mount that on the printer where need be. So now that we have that all set up, we can prepare for the test print. But before we do that, let's just go over the features of this printer one more time. Starting from the bottom all the way up to the top, the CR-10S Pro features an upgraded Meanwell power supply, silent board, color touch LCD, filament runout sensor, dual extruder drive, Capricorn tube, dual Z axis, upgraded cooling fans, the upgraded cooling duct, the bed leveling probe, the CR-10S Pro bed mat. Everything on this printer is really awesome, really a fantastic printer. Not really many upgrades you're going to need to do to this. And once you have this printer tuned, calibrated, and dialed in, it is going to give you quality prints time and time again. And speaking of prints, let's go ahead and get that test print going. So with the supplied SD card, it's going to give you the option to print the dog, the pig, or the cat. We're going to go ahead and select the cat here and do the test print of the little kitty. Again, the printer will go through the bed probing feature. It'll scan all the points of the bed and get right into printing. Now, when you do this from default, for some reason, it turns the economic on. You want to go ahead and turn that off, because what that's going to do is that's actually going to turn the heated bed plate off in a few minutes, which can affect adhesion. Once that's all set up, it's going to start printing the cat. Big tip on here, always use Wrapped for bed adhesion. You're going to be able to get it off the easiest. It's going to stick the best. If you use Brim or something else, you're going to have a real pain in the butt getting it off. You can also go ahead and adjust your nozzle up or down with the Z offset here. So maybe if you leveled your bed too far or leveled it too close, you can manually move the Z up and down by hitting the Z negative or the Z plus. Mine was pretty close, but it was a little bit too high for my taste, so I went ahead and just knocked it down just a couple taps just to get some nice squish and nice adhesion to the build plate there. So we can see here, everything looks good so far. It's printing the raft, and it's going to continue on and print that kitty for us. Everything seems pretty good. These test prints are really important. It's a nice way to kind of eye up and see if you have any issues with under extrusion or over extrusion. These test pieces do come locked in pretty good. They're usually about 0.1, so they're usually really defined and really crisp. So sometimes people can get frustrated, say, why did my test piece print so good, and then file I put on Thingiverse didn't look that great. That's why these pieces come in really dialed in. And I got very lucky with this CR-10S Pro. Mine is equipped with a fun button. I have no idea what happens when I turn it off, so I'm just going to leave it on and see how this print goes. And after a few hours here, we can see that the test print came out absolutely awesome. Really, the CR-10S Pro, definitely an awesome machine. And once you take the time to properly calibrate it, tune it, you'll have even better prints time in and time out. Now that our test print's done, let me give you my final thoughts and opinions on the Creality Cr10s Pro.
All right, well, there you have it, guys. That is the setup of the Creality Cr10s Pro. I got this printer a few months ago. In reality, this really is a great printer. And to me, I feel it's pretty important because the way these new Creality printers are now, they're all kind of set up the same. They come 90 to 95% assembled. Not as much as you need to do back in the day where they had the old boxes and you had to install the Bowden tubes and everything. You've seen how easy this machine get set up. Everything is built into that platform. You're not messing with wires and having to plug in X motors and Y motors and Z motors. And for someone just getting into 3D printing, you may not know where these plugs go, but the way this machine was set up and a lot of the new Creality machines are, everything is literally right there. You just gotta plug it right in. Really simple, really easy to assemble. Creality definitely has simplified it for all of its new purchasers, no matter what model you get. They're obviously coming out with a new model. The great thing is, if you actually just keep an eye on Creality's website, you're gonna be able to get this printer that normally is between $500 and $600 for about half price. I scooped mine up for $299.99 just a few months ago, and you'll see them pop up on the site. So like I said, just keep kind of plugging away on Creality's website. You're not really going to see them pop up on Amazon or things like that. They're still going to be pretty much full price. Since I got my CR-10S Pro set up, I actually sold my CR-10 V2 just because I didn't need it. I mean, all of the features that the CR-10S Pro offers, everything is just built in. It's nice and compact. It's a really awesome machine. I've already printed a ton of stuff on there. You guys probably seen the Jason Mass video. I've printed quite a few of the Metro Cop helmets on there. I've printed Iron Man helmets. There's tons of stuff I printed on there. Out of the box, the machine was really great. Super easy to level. Love the way the machine works. The nice little chime that it gives you when you turn on, I guess that's kind of cool. The only odd thing was I have a fun button. I don't know if that's like a limited edition, probably something that's stuck through Creality's QC center, but it doesn't affect the machine. It actually just makes me laugh whenever I see it. If you can pick this machine up for between $300 and $350, which I'm constantly seeing them advertise as. Definitely pick this machine up. The only quarrel I have with this is the fans are just a little bit loud. So if you have it in a bedroom or something, you may want to look into getting some quieter fans. I know the RGB fans are a little bit quieter. I have those installed in some of my printers. So that's really the only, I guess, discrepancy I have with this printer. Other than that, it's printed absolutely fantastic. I love the space that it saves from not having that extra box like the V2 had. Silent board, Capricorn tubes, like I said, everything that I listed, absolutely flawless machine, very seamless, super easy to operate, nice big LCD. You pick this thing up, you're definitely gonna love it. And speaking of loving or liking things, if you did like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you already have a CR-10S Pro or a Pro V2, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think of your experience. Have you had to do any upgrades? Are there any drawbacks to it? What's your overall experience with this? Go ahead, drop me a comment and let me know what you think of this machine or maybe why you want to add it to your arsenal. And if you do enjoy all things 3D printing, cosplay, Marvel, DIY, Funko Pops, all the stuff we're doing on the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I do have some other videos coming up with my Anycubic Mono X, and I do have my 4-month review of the longer LK4X printer. So if you are interested in additional printers or just my overall experience with some of these printers, go ahead, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, come back and see more of yours truly. That's it for now, guys. Leave me a thumbs up, drop me a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to click that sub button. And until next time, DW out. Later.